Minasan, hello everyone. What is an infectious disease shop? Well, we gotta thank Google Translate for this mistake. We're gonna fix Google Translate mistakes on today's episode of the Social English Podcast. Hikari, please start the show.
皆さんこんにちは。毎日少しずつ社交に使える英語の上達を目指すソーシャルイングリッシュポッドキャストへようこそ。今日はぜひもっと自信を持って英会話してみましょう。 Are you ready, Parsi? Let's go!
Yes, Hikari, I am ready. Not only am I ready, I am very pumped up and can't wait to discuss today's show on the Social English Podcast. Once again, minasan, welcome to the show, Yokuso. Today, we are going to do another show where we will take Google Translate mistakes from Japanese to English, and then we're going to show you what it should say. So listen to the show to find out how to do that on today's episode. If you are new to the Social English Podcast, welcome. Once again, welcome. If you are a returning listener, thank you for coming back. And I'm so glad that you are sticking with us here at the Social English Podcast. Please don't forget to leave that Google Podcast or Apple Podcast review, as well as check out our Patreon page. Okay, before we start today's episode of the Social English Podcast, I want to say, let's do what we usually do. Let's get into our social English relaxed mode. I want you to picture me and you at your favorite cafe. We're having a drink of course, coffee. I am having maybe a caramel macchiato. And you are having maybe a regular mocha latte. Or maybe just a latte. And we're having a snack. Now, I am Percy, your friend from America. And we are just sitting down, relaxed, and you are asking me questions about English. Conversational English. Eikaiwa. So, let's talk about today's topic. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Today's topic is Google Translate mistakes. We are going to take a mistake that Google Translate made from Japanese to English to help you better understand that Google Translate often makes mistakes when going from Japanese to English, and you could learn how to say these things the right way. Okay, so what we are discussing is someone in Google Translate was searching for a health clinic. So let's look at the Google Translate English version. This is Google Translate. Please listen carefully. Kite kudasai. I searched for an infectious disease control shop on a certain reservation site and made a reservation, but the infectious disease control described there was not implemented. one more time. I searched for an infectious disease control shop on a certain reservation site and made a reservation, but the infectious disease control described was not implemented. Okay, that is the Google Translate English version from Japanese to English. Now, this is one sentence. This is one sentence, yet it is too long. Too long. Okay, nagai, too long. So let's listen to what it should be using social English, using conversational English, and let's also remember that this is going to be three sentences. Okay, so let's go over each sentence one by one. Here is the correct way to say this. I looked for a specialist online that treated infectious diseases. Okay, one more time. Please listen. Kite kudasai. I looked for a specialist online that treated infectious diseases. Okay, that's the first sentence. Next sentence. Once I found the one I liked, I made a reservation. Kite kudasai. Once I found the one I liked, I made a reservation. Number 3, sentence 3. I later found out that the treatment I wanted wasn't performed there. Okay, one more time. Kite kudasai. I later found out that the treatment I wanted wasn't performed there. Okay. Now, let's talk about a few things. We don't want to say the words infectious disease control shop. To say disease, infectious disease, we are going to talk about a hospital or clinic. Hospital or clinic. So we do not use shop. Shop when talking about medical health things. So infectious disease is a medical health item. So we must use clinic or hospital. Okay? That is the first big mistake. Okay. Next, we do not want to use the sentence using the words the infectious disease control described there. Okay? So does the infectious disease control that was described there. Basically, what you're saying, all of that means is the treatment. Very simple word, the treatment. Okay? So any kind of visit to a doctor where the doctor helps you. So when you go see the doctor and the doctor helps you, this is called a treatment. We use the word treatment in English. Okay? So let's go ahead and do this one more time. I will say all 3 sentences in normal speed, regular speed English. Please listen. 聞いてください. I looked for a specialist online that treated infectious diseases. Once I found the one that I liked, I made a reservation. I later found out that the treatment I wanted wasn't performed there. One more time. I looked for a specialist online that treated infectious diseases. Once I found the one that I liked, I made a reservation. I later found out that the treatment I wanted wasn't performed there. Okay, so that is pretty much it right there. We want to make sure that we talk about a clinic or a hospital and use the word treatment. Okay? That is it. Now, if I spoke too fast for you today, please play back this episode at 0.5 slow speed. That way you can easily understand what I am saying. Okay? All right. That is going to do it for today's episode of the Social English Podcast. I am glad you were able to spend time with me today. Hopefully you learned something today. I know that you did, and I am so happy to help you with this podcast. Please visit us at realsocialenglish.com, where you can definitely get my free download, The 7 Mistakes Most Japanese Learners of English Make and How to Fix Them. Also, you can find other tools to help you improve your social English skills and your social English language all at once. Every day you can learn something. Now, also, I'd like to ask you to please consider to subscribe to our podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast. And when you subscribe to the podcast, you have so many options. You can subscribe on Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or Pandora. You can choose. Also, please leave a 5-star review. You can also help the show by going to Patreon, patreon.com/social English and donating $5 American to the show to help us improve the show. I will thank you at the end of a future episode. You will also get content you can only get there. So one more time, that is patreon.com/social English. Share this podcast with your friends on social media. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I will see you in the next episode. Hikari, please close out the show.
今日は楽しい時間をありがとうございました。ぜひ私たちのウェブサイト realsocialenglish.com を訪問して日本語訳と役立つ情報を手に入れてください。また次回お会いしましょう。バイバイ。See you next time. Bye bye.